The woman brought a cake for her son's birthday. But just then, the boy hugged another woman. He called his own mother a fake mom. In the next second, the shocked woman dropped the cake. For 10 years, she had raised this boy, only for him to call her a fraud. Suddenly, she remembered plucking a white hair from his head. A memory of a loving mother. But now, suspicion filled her. Immediately, she rushed to the hospital and demanded a rush DNA test. At that moment, the nurse handed her the results. The woman's hands trembled as she read the paper. The probability of maternity was 0. Unexpectedly, she had spent 10 years raising a child that wasn't hers. Devastated, she went to her office and looked at old photos of her and her husband. She saw their happy memories, their wedding, and the day their baby was born. Just then, she saw her husband on the street. He was passionately hugging the same woman her son called his real mom. At that moment, she understood everything. All her sacrifices were a lie. Suddenly, she saw a young boy being bullied by other students. They yelled that his mom and dad had abandoned him. They pushed him to the ground and dumped his books everywhere. Immediately, she got out of her car and shouted at the bullies to stop. As she helped the boy pick up his things, she saw a birthmark on his wrist. It was the same as hers. In the next second, she realized this was her real son. The boy refused her help, saying he had to go home and cook before his mother got angry. The woman's heart broke. She vowed to make her cheating husband pay for everything. The next day, at a company board meeting, the woman stood up. She played a video of her husband and his mistress hugging. The mistress immediately shouted to turn it off. The husband angrily accused his wife of trying to ruin him over a small mistake. He said every man cheats and she should be more tolerant. But the woman just slapped the mistress across the face. The husband yelled at her, but in the next second she slapped him too. He threatened her, so she immediately demanded a divorce. The arrogant husband laughed. He told her she was a weak housewife and couldn't survive without him. He asked the board members if they would support him or a useless woman. But just then, a senior board member stood up. He announced that the husband was nothing without his wife. He said the company belonged to her family. At that moment, every single board member stood up and withdrew their support for the cheating husband. They all sided with the wife. The woman took her seat at the head of the table. The first thing she did was fire her husband and his mistress. She immediately had security throw them out. Later, she brought her real son to her giant mansion. She gave him snacks and told him this was his home now. Finally, the true mother and son were together again.